see everything going on.
Is Barker a control freak?
I don't know about that, but anybody who may
Don't touch my buttons, and I can see this as long as I can see the screen that's going on. Yeah.
So, if you can see this, it means that we have started the streaming aspect.
We've
again.
successfully teleported to the 5th dimension.
Right. So this is going to be part of our Patreon experience. If you want to watch the show stream live, we've got what was it, Arms? Was it $1 a month? I think it's like a dollar. $1 a month.
There's, 4 levels? 1, 2, 5, 10?
Yeah, well, 1, 5, 10, I believe.
Okay, I thought there was a 2.
But yeah, if you want to watch the show live by any chance, our Patreon page, which is, I think, pinned on our Twitter, you can go there. $1 a month plan gets you streaming when we stream the show live, so you hear it before anyone else. Then we've got a couple other plans. There's a $10 plan with extra shows, which will be provided by Arms and I.
The fat guys with the small beards.
Right. So go to Patreon, check that out. There's options on there. I'm going to have to say this all over again once I hit record, but go check the options. Got to start trying to pay for this new studio. Sorta. Been crazy. So anyways, we're getting ready to start the show. Arms is tidying up his notes, which is fine because we need a minute anyways just to make sure levels are good.
I pray to God we're doing the AFC.
We are. We're doing AFC. Yeah, so tonight's going to be the AFC team leaders prediction. So we're going to predict. Oh, Hux, will you turn that AC off for me? Yeah, I know it's warm.
It actually feels better outside.
It does. I would say we could open something, but the cars that go by are just nuts.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't be.
Do we want to leave it on? Did it come through the headphones real bad?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not a good judge of that.
Can you turn it? Well, never mind. I don't even care.
That was like energy saver, so it'll hit us here and there. But it's kind of warm in here, even though it was on that. So, anyways, Patreon, go check it out. It's pinned on our Twitter. We are streaming on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter currently. And like I said, getting ready to start the show, which is going to be AFC team leaders, which we are somewhat prepared for. Yeah, maybe not Arms.
I'm
Maybe
prepared.
not Arms. Hux is prepared.
You're gonna get
Part-time host
1,
Hux.
2, 3. Let's see. I don't know. You're gonna get more than 8 words out of me tonight.
8 words?
8.
Oh, 8
More
words.
than 8.
More than 8 words coming from Hux tonight.
You know, I look forward to it.
Viewership will probably go down because of it. So
I hope you carry the load.
Yeah. Carry us home on this one, Hux.
Listen,
not gonna
listen,
happen.
Hux,
Why?
listen. I believe in you.
I believe in you. You are my hero. I
can be
Everything.
your hero, baby. Sorry.
All right, so we're going to fire up the chat as well. Yes, Arms, I'm sorry. There's going to be chat.
Oh,
I know how that makes you feel.
I just don't like to be interrupted whenever I'm talking. I believe that's the biggest problem.
The show live.
Whoa.
Hey, Hux is streaming the Back Row Fantasy Show.
What a swell guy.
I just don't like to be interrupted whenever I'm talking.
Are you just hoping that this is a constant, like, the clap, you hear the clap in the background, it records the clap, and then you have perpetual
All
clapping?
right, I got it figured out. Turn the volume down.
You just turn that off? Okay.
I turned the volume down.
Now, don't stream this whole time. It'll interrupt with the speed, the streaming speed. Like if you're streaming in, we're streaming out using all the bandwidth. So
I'm not even connected to Wi-Fi.
just freaking telling you. I'm just telling you, Hux.
See,
I just
do you
wanted
see
to have it
what-
loaded
do you
up
guys-
so I could see.
Do you guys see what we have to
comments.
deal with here? This is
I
ridiculous.
wanted. My wife is watching. My wife is
Hey,
watching.
Alexis.
She's like, "Where are you at, Brian? Where are you?"
She knows where I'm at.
There you go.
Well, now she does.
Alexis, you will always know where Brian's at when he's gone now.
Well, of
because
course she does, because she got
stream it.
GPS tracker on his phone.
So how come Neil can be on the chat but he can't be here with us?
Oh, well, it's probably because he just got off work.
That's terrible. All right, let's see. I don't remember what the login is to this.
Craig Wall is watching us.
Why, Wall? Why? Actually, I appreciate it.
No, yeah, we love Craig.
I miss you, Craig.
I miss you too, Wall.
If nobody could tell, we're in California shooting the show in a professional California studio.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just find it somewhat amusing that people we know are tuning in. I appreciate it, though.
Well,
Yeah, most of them will just be like, turn this back off.
can't say I blame them. We will start the show soon.
Like the people I know, I get. Like I understand if you don't want to hear me talk. Hell, I don't want to hear me talk.
I definitely don't want to hear you talk.
Thank you. But I will show you what I'm about. My people down in southeastern Ohio. Let's get us a rub in. Not a rub out. A rub in, we'll dip, and let's drink a beer together.
Right. Okay, chat is up. 94%.
I do have my label peeled, Chris, Neil. Just wanted to show you that, Craig.
Nobody's called me out on yet. I had two of them that had nothing done.
All right. Shall we begin?
Hold on, I got to get my label partially peeled.
Why?
The game of life.
Yeah.
It never ends, Jeremy.
It's only been going on for like 15 years.
I haven't been paying attention to him at all.
We call it
For that
out.
many years, at least.
We call it out every time.
That's childish. You ready? All right, now you ready?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm good.
Let's rock and roll.
Yep.
5. Yeah, now I feel goofy because there's people we know watching. In 3, or 2. Today on the Back Row Fantasy Show, we discuss team leaders in the AFC. Coming up now on the Back Row Fantasy Show.
Welcome to the Back Row Fantasy Show with your hosts Jeremy Barker and Aaron Arms.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Back Row Fantasy Show. We are finally in a decent place to record. It's Bark and Arms to my left,
Good morning.
and Hux, sweet Hux to my right.
Hey, what's up, guys?
8 words Hux coming at you. If you
Only
count,
4 more to go.
It's
Done.
we're gonna make
Done. Gonna leave.
Gonna make a game out of it. If you count more than 8 words out of Hux's mouth, we got to type them on the chat, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Type 9. Like, I got 10.
Oh.
There's 11. Hopefully we can.
There's going to be a lot of typing tonight.
And by the way, for our first-time streamers, viewers, I say good morning because a lot of people listen to this tomorrow morning and Monday morning.
This is true. This is very true. It throws me off every time though. He's like, "Good morning." I'm like, "What the
I
hell?"
know, dude.
It's like midnight.
It's become my thing.
Not right now, but so anyways, tonight's show we're going to talk about team leaders, who we think is going to lead each team in passing, rushing, rush yards, rushing touchdowns, wide receiving yards, receptions, wide receiving touchdowns, and sacks and tackles. Granted, the passing, we'll be able to get through that pretty quick because most of those are obvious, but they're not all.
In the AFC, it's just about chalk.
Yeah,
Close.
there's only
I mean, in the NFL,
Maybe
it's just
one
about
team.
chalk.
Just learned what chalk meant the other day. I just thought we were like outside tic-tac-toe playing. I was like, why does everybody keep saying chalk? My grandpa's name was Chalk, like, is he?
Really?
Yeah, it was. I mean, God rest his soul.
No, that's a really cool name.
His name was Chalk.
Like, is that his nickname or is that like
It was his nickname. His name was Charles, but I mean, everybody called him
No,
Chalk.
I love that nickname.
Yeah, that's different. Never heard of that one before.
Chalk. So when you said Chalk, I'm like, well, you know my grandpa? You know Pops?
You know Pappy Barker?
You know Pops Bark? That part, and well, he wasn't a Barker, but
Whatever.
I digress. So anyways, we talked about a little bit as we streamed before the actual show started because you'll get the before and after when you sign up for our Patreon, which is pinned, I should say, on our Twitter. Patreon, it's where you go to become a supporter of the show with a monthly donation of like $1. $1 gets you the live streaming. So pretty soon this streaming's not going to just be everywhere. It's going to be through Patreon or through Link. And there's a $5 tier, a $10 tier. You get more shows with the $10 tier. But by all means, go check out our Patreon page again.
And give us $1.
Yeah, give us $1. We figured out if we could get 1 million people to pay $1,
Listen, if we can get,
we'd
if
be
we can
three-way millionaires.
if we can get everyone that listens to the show to give us,
three-way.
I don't know, probably like $75 a month, we could all quit our jobs.
Yeah, that's all you have to do.
That's it.
It's not that much.
That's
That is
literally
I'm just,
all
that is
you have
entirely
to
a
do.
joke. We're not asking for that.
No, we are.
But
absolutely, absolutely. Like we like our jobs and all, but we're not going to argue to sit. To have to sit in this Hollywood studio and talk about some football.
Correct.
Yeah. So if you want to become a Patreon, like our good friend Michael Bauer has in the early running of us getting that launched, thanks, Bauer. Go ahead and check that out. You could, again, Twitter, it's pinned. You can go there. Moving on. The Midwest Expo, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, Bob Lung, for putting that on. Thanks for all the people we met there. Jay, Mike, Check.
Oh my God.
And others.
Jay, Mike, Check, you're in my top 5 favorite human beings breathing.
Easy.
Just so we know, I have 3 immediate family members, like my wife and my 2 kids. You're pretty darn close right now.
Yeah, J. Mike Check actually.
He's above one of you two. Just so you
It's
know.
fine.
I already know.
He made our day. Like he made our day. With his just warm nature, he made our day. And no, he didn't pee on us. But anyways, he was there.
Or Kelly. Never mind.
Oh, not J. Mike.
Am I
Check,
coming through all right? I felt
mean,
like I was down. Sorry.
You always sound a little down to me, but no, I'm going to talk about some football. But sorry, I love you.
Whatever.
So anyways, going to talk about the AFC tonight. Again, Midwest Expo, a lot of fun, met a lot of people. Ball Blast Girls, J. Mike Check, Dynasty HQ, Fantasy Fuel, Dennis Bennett of Fantasy Roundtable. Met a lot of people. It was a lot of fun.
Right beside Dennis.
Yeah.
Basically spent a day with Dennis watching him talk to other people.
Yeah, basically played, third wheel, fourth wheel, and fifth wheel to him and his wife. They were hanging out
His
there
wife
together.
is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, she really loves to talk to people.
Oh, yeah.
Sociable. Very sociable.
Social butterfly, that Mrs. Bennett.
That's the word.
There we go. So, good time. It's going on again next year, so let's build it up, get it bigger, better, and hopefully we will see you there again next year. News and notes. Not a lot right now that I know of. Andrew Luck's still, we don't know.
Injury-ish, and we've got still the running back holdouts.
Yeah,
I
but
think there's
that's supposed to
progress.
be over this weekend,
I think
supposedly.
both of them, both of the big ones are coming back. It looks like Zeke's made headway a little bit, but apparently went back to Cabo. Who? Zeke?
Who's the second one that's made headway?
Migo.
That's what I'm... Huh?
Melvin Gordon.
I didn't know there was progress made.
He's in
seen
San Diego right now.
Is he?
He's in San Diego. He's been working out in San Diego.
Well, I don't think they're going to pay him.
But they play in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What's
I
he do-
actually did see that the report was he was in San Diego.
San Diego.
Not even joking.
Well, he's not coming back. I don't think he's coming back.
I think he is.
I don't. Maybe sometime
Dude's
during the
got,
season.
like his best. Listen, I'm a huge Melvin Gordon supporter, but his best season's like 1,200 yards. I don't even think it's 1,200. I think it's 1,100 yards. The guy just gets in the end zone a lot.
He's a good back.
No, he's a very solid back, but he's not like Todd Gurley last year. Good or
Right.
whenever Gurley got his contract, and he's got to realize that. Like he's a complete back. He's got every tool you need to succeed, but he's not great. So
No, he's not elite by any means. That's why I don't think they're going to pay him. Like, is San Diego... I know
LA.
everybody's in contention. L.A. Wait, actually, Arms, it's L.A.
L.A.
L.A. But I
Ever
know
had
that...
tacos in L.A.
L.A. I'm going to get my toes done in L.A. Anyways.
If you never watched Letterkenny, just turn us off and go watch Letterkenny.
I think it's
You'll
more
appreciate
fun
it.
not to give him what we're talking about. They can just be like, it'll be our thing.
L.A.
It'll be our thing. So I don't think Melvin Gordon's coming back. I think they're going to roll with the other guys they got just to see if it's even worth paying Melvin Gordon. I mean, honestly, if you're Los Angeles, I guess you think you're going somewhere, but somebody in that organization has to know they're not I don't believe they're a Super Bowl contender.
They're in win now mode, though.
I get that, but I don't know. I just don't know if the money for Melvin Gordon is like, is this really going to make or break us? Is Melvin Gordon actually
Has
gonna
anything
make or
they've
break us?
ever done made or break that organization? Like,
Not
they
really.
can get there.
That's why.
Yeah, I think they're going to pay him. I don't think they're going to pay him what the initial ask was, and I honestly don't know what the initial ask was, but I think there's going to be a good compromise. I think he's going to be paid exceptionally well, even by running back standards, but he's not going to get Todd Gurley money. I don't think he's going to get Le'Veon Bell's new contract money, but I think he's going to be paid well.
Oh, if he gets paid, he'll be paid well. I just have a feeling they kind of want to see what they got with Justin Jackson and Austin Eckler.
Horrible mistake.
I don't think he'll be back by week 1, but
don't
I
either.
can see week 4,
Especially
5.
if the running game stalls. If the running game stalls,
The running game will stall without him.
I don't know. I just
I'm
don't
a fan
know.
of Eckler, but I mean,
I have 100% certainty that none of those guys are 80% of Melvin Gordon.
You don't think Justin Jackson
No.
has anything to give? I mean,
No, not like Melvin Gordon does. Melvin Gordon is, he's a top 5 back in the league. But ultimately, he's, 1,100 yard back based on that offense.
I get that. I'm just thinking, that take the chance. I mean, some teams take the chance, and a guy like Philip Lindsay comes out of nowhere. A guy like Darwin Thompson comes out of nowhere. Guys like that. Kareem Hunt wasn't supposed to be that great. Yeah, I mean, he came in and took that job and went. I don't think LA's in a hurry, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think they're
You've
going
got
to
a
feel
2-year window
pressed.
with your quarterback.
Yeah, I
You
was
better
gonna
be
say, I think-
in a freaking major hurry.
I mean, losing Derwin James is a
Yeah.
killer to that defense, but I mean, I honestly think they can compete with the Chiefs in the division, personally.
Think so? See, I don't.
But, I mean-
I don't know why.
I don't
I
think-
just don't.
I don't think they'll win the division.
I don't think they'll win the division, but I think
But-
I don't think Chiefs are going to run away with it.
I think they'll make the playoffs, and I think they can beat the Chiefs, but I don't think they win the division.
I think they knew that too.
I mean, if they meet up with Chiefs in playoffs, it's going to be a good game.
Could be. All right, moving on. Anyways, I didn't know that. I didn't know Melvin Gordon was even close to Los Angeles right now, so that's news to me.
I swear it said San Diego, too. I swear it did.
It probably did. Probably did. But in other news, Drew Lock's injured. Even though it's nothing major, it's a thumb on his throwing hand, so it's somewhat major. But they're considering just slapping him on injured reserve and basically making this a redshirt season. He didn't look that great to begin with. Maybe that's part of what is playing into those possible plans. But I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if Flacco's going to be able to hold it all year. Who's the next man up? I mean, I would probably try not to put Drew Lock on injured reserve if I'm Denver.
I mean, he can come back after, 8 weeks?
No, they said if they put him on injured reserve before the season, I don't know why, but I read that he is not eligible.
So, all right, I know we've done plenty of bashing on Joe Flacco, but he's going to keep the job all season regardless. And in addition to that, like Flacco, I think is probably going to have his best at least yardage season. He's got the most talent he's ever had around him.
I think he's going to have a solid year, honestly.
It wouldn't surprise me if Joe Flacco
Not great.
somehow got to at least the edge of the top 10, 11 or 12.
I was thinking like back into the top 20 relevance, 15 to 20-ish.
Yeah, 15 to 20.
But to me, that's pretty good if you grab Flacco, who's basically washed out. I mean, top 20, still better than, 12 to 15 other quarterbacks. And the way people view Flacco now is bottom of the barrel.
I think he has a career year. I honestly do. I don't think he's going to be league MVP or anything like that. I do think he has at least one of the best 3 years of his career this year. I mean, who's he ever had to
Wouldn't
throw the
put it
damn ball
past him.
to?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith,
Steve
yeah.
Smith, that's it. Baltimore has been, Mike Wallace went there for a minute.
Mike Wallace
other
had
guys.
one 1,000-yard season in his career.
I don't think that's accurate, is it?
I'm 99% sure it's accurate.
Fact check.
No,
keep
I
talking.
got- I got
keep
you.
talking. No, you're good. You're the talker of the show.
I've
right?
already got it. Yeah, Mike Wallace had. Yeah, no, he's had 3, but there was a 4-year gap. There was a 4-year gap between them.
What do you think about that, Hux?
I mean, you're wrong, Arms.
Oh, hold on. Where's that at? I don't even know if I still have that drop or not.
There was a
I must be the wrong one.
but the point is, Mike Wallace is not a good receiver.
He was
He
good for
was.
what he
Is he-
was.
He was.
Is he even in the same category as Emmanuel Sanders?
He was better than Emmanuel Sanders for a while.
You are crazy.
Okay, look up Emmanuel Sanders when he had his breakout season compared to when Mike Wallace had his breakout season. Sanders was a year or 2 behind.
There's no way that's.
Well, I mean, you were wrong a second ago, so I'm not. I'm betting on myself here. I believe.
All right, hold on.
Gotta live up. Or wait, Faith? How do you sing Faith? I don't even know. But you gotta have
Like-
faith.
Other than
George Michael's
2017 and
Yeah.
18 were down years for Sanders, but 16, 15, and 14 it was. In 14, 1,400 yards, 1,100 yards, and 1,000 yards.
You're avoiding the question.
Hey,
When did
well,
they
at
come into the league?
At the beginning of their careers, Mike Wallace was slightly better, but he was still.
Give me some stats. What year did they
I don't
come in
have
the
it-
league?
Damn it, I don't have them.
No. Your confidence level.
2010.
2010.
That was Sanders.
Okay.
And Mike Wallace came in 2009. He did have a 1,200 yard 2010 season and almost 1,200 2011.
When did Sanders
then-
have a good season?
14 maybe.
I must be the wrong one.
I would
You're
still
welcome.
rather have Emmanuel Sanders than Mike Wallace.
No,
Why?
I get that. Right now, absolutely. Right now, yes, 100%. I'm just,
I'm just saying, with the same quarterback, like Mike Wallace was just not that great of a receiver, and Baltimore has never, outside of Steve Smith, had a very productive receiver, just basically ever.
So you think Flacco is going to have a career year because of Emmanuel Sanders?
No, because of Cortland Sutton, Emmanuel Sanders, Deshaun Hamilton, and a solid running game.
Okay.
And a really good
Noah Fant.
defense. Adding in no fan.
no fan.
I mean, I agree with you. Flacco's going to have a good year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not arguing that point at all. I just, when you said that Mike, I don't know, something about, he did, right? He said Mike Wallace.
I really
was
thought
Emmanuel Sanders was better from the get-go. or something like
honest-
He did.
Honest to God, I thought he was.
I must be the wrong
I
one.
am the wrong one,
that. So
apparently.
happy I found that button.
I'm so glad you did too. Thank God. Thank God you found that.
Well, luckily, we'll get to talk about Emmanuel Sanders here very shortly, if not now. Anything else? News, notes?
Was there any injuries from yesterday's games? I didn't pay much of attention.
None that I'm aware of, but I will tell you, I did watch a little bit of the Washington game. Darius Guice looked good. He looked
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
good. He didn't look great, but he
I mean, first game action. I mean, yeah, he looked
yeah,
good.
but he ran hard. He was difficult to bring down. He showed good vision. He caught a pass. I mean, hit almost immediately. Still got like 2 yards after he was hit. Like, I think Geis is going to be fine. I know
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a ton of concern about him coming into the season. Am I going to sit here and tell you that he's going to be a top 5 back? No, but guys, I'm comfortable rolling into the season with Darius Geis as my number 2.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
upset with it at all. I mean, I'm good with it, but I
think that's a
do-
move to make, is what I'm getting at. Sorry.
No, you're good. I do see a little bit of a point from Ryan McDowell on Twitter, who's like, okay, so the Redskins, a team that has no idea how to handle injury, a la Josh Doxson, a la countless other people, throws Darius Geis first time since tearing his ACL into a game and gives him 12 carries in a preseason game.
Yeah, that didn't make much sense to me either.
This is a little risky. I mean, I know you want to see how he's doing, but like
gotta test him.
That's a bad organization. Very
it-
bad.
We got 2 games. You don't have to give him 12 carries in the third week. Like, give him 5. And then if he holds up and everything looks good, you're feeling good about guys. Next game up, give him 12 then. Give him 10 to 12 then. But
Here's the thing: they want to see him against first teamers, though. Week 4 is just a pure There's not a starter. Nobody who has a lockdown position is playing next week. It's just the way the league is.
I noticed a lot of teams didn't play a whole lot of guys yesterday.
No, they didn't. Like
Yeah, it was
I believe
surprising.
there
I
was
was
like
look-
a
I was
text
just looking
thread
through
between
the-
two coaches that was like, "You playing your starters today?" He's like, "No." What about you? Like, no. Like,
Yeah, I was looking through the box scores and I'm like, wow,
yeah, I don't
a
think
lot
it's
of second, third stringers.
not a given anymore that they, play first stringers on.
It seems
week
like
3.
it was always like week 1 they get a series or 2.
Yeah.
Week 2 they get maybe 3 or 4, and then week 3 it's like, all right, you're going
At
to
least
play
the first half.
Yeah, no less than the first quarter.
Yeah.
But now it's like, yeah, we're just we know who our starters are. We're not going to play them. So next week.
Which is probably smart. I mean, I think injuries. I mean, there's so many injuries that happen.
There is.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
they can happen week 1. How much? I
Well,
mean,
Oh, yeah,
at
we
least
know
go
that,
into the
but-
season with your guys, though.
we know that, but it's the same thing that comes up when you start talking about an 18-game season. Like, man,
Ridiculous. by
like
the
I
way.
know they've got these things where like a player can only play 16 even though it's an 18. That's silly, but I think it's silly to play more than 16. It's obviously a cash grab, but you don't want your guys to play any more games than they absolutely have to unless it's in the playoffs.
I agree.
I mean, think about the Redskins. Let's imagine that a unicorn comes down and sprays winning formula out of its ass on everybody, and all of a sudden the Redskins are a great team that gets to the playoffs and go deep. How many games did guys play coming off an ACL? How many times do you get 10-plus carries in a game? You got to go all the way back to preseason, and it just seems a little silly at that point.
Let's also realize he had a year to recover from this. Like he has had a full year. I mean, trial
but I
by
mean-
fire. He can either play or he can't.
But I mean, there was obviously something going on with him not being able to.
Yeah, there was infections and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just it seemed a little much to play the first time.
Yeah,
First
I
game.
mean, there's two sides to it. I understand if somebody's like, well, you gotta see what he's got, what he's ready to roll with. I get that. I was giving Ryan McDowell some validity there. It's a valid question. I mean, like that's a little risky.
Yeah.
And there's reasons this organization has had a lot of problems, and to me it is stuff like that. But he came out fine. That's great. Hopefully he does in week 4 if they play him in the preseason. But I was reading stuff, and it seemed everybody was talking about how it was basically over. Like things I read, like closes out the preseason. I guess that's where the starters probably aren't going to play in week 4. But they were saying closing out the preseason on like guys that are third string in certain articles. I'm like, wait a minute. Surely some of these guys are going to play.
Like I can see a lot of the Redskins playing a little bit week 4. Like even their starters, at least on offense, because I don't think they've got a lot of set in stone positions there. Teams like that are about it. Arizona, kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
The wide receivers, like you don't know who's going to be playing. I mean, you just say, all right, well, we've got Michael Crabtree. We're just going to start him week 1 without showing any sort of chemistry. Like you want to see what they're doing.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. Hux, you want to turn? I'm willing to risk the background noise for the AC. Honestly, it's so chilly outside and it's so warm in here. Is it because of our size? Is it because
I mean,
we're
there's a lot of beef in this room.
manly dudes?
I mean, it's not going to kick on.
Well, you can push the button and turn it off energy saver. I'll edit this out.
I hope you do, because I want to step out for a second.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
You may put it on cool.
We'll come back to it. Baby, come back.
So we're still streaming, right?
You can put it all on me. Yeah.
I have to
We will take breaks on the
reload.
stream, which means we
You want
will.
anything?
Yeah, I'll take whatever.
You want to try one of those?
Yeah, I'm good with that. That makes a lot of noise, actually.
Is it?
Does. I don't know if it comes through on the record or the streaming as much as it does. Let's find out. Baby, come back. Oh. Yeah, I'm good with that. That makes a lot of noise, actually. It does. I don't know if it comes through on the record or the streaming as much as it does. Find out. Maybe leave it. What do you think? Should we leave the door open or the AC on?
I don't know how it's coming through.
The AC's fairly loud. Is it like chilly out there?
It feels good out there, but
Let's hope.
hold on. Let's see how it sounds. Oh, that is loud as hell.
Maybe leave it. What do you think? Should
Yeah, we've got to do
Yeah, let's open the door. Sorry, Hux.
How about the window?
Be my Huckleberry. The AC's fairly loud. Is it like chilly out there?
It feels good out there.
Let's open.
See how it sounds. I'd rather not.
Think that'll help?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with the bugs.
Yeah, let's open the door. Sorry, Hux. Somehow there's more people watching us while we're taking a break
Want
than
to
there
turn that
is.
back off?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool up a little bit in here, I guess.
It's always good to hear yourself on a stream. Like, is it like chilly out there? Is it like
LA?
a little nipply whipply out there, guys? A little.
Never had a taco. Do you had one in LA?
Jesus, Hux.
My bad.
Lord.
Jesus Hux.
Big guy coming through.
If you have another son, that's what you should name him.
Jesus Hux.
Not happening. So,
What about Jesus?
no, I meant the kid's not happening.
It's gonna happen.
Wait, no. Didn't you join the club?
I'm done. I'm fixed.
Boom.
Not ready to make that commitment yet.
Fixed.
No, it's not
You
much.
should.
It's a piece of cake. It's
where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if my next wife wants a kid? You know,
Ooh.
it's a joke.
All right.
Hope she's
Let's move
watching.
on.
Hope she's watching.
Hope she is too.
Really,
She doesn't even know where to find it.
really hope she's watching. Okay.
My
All right.
wife, I guarantee she does not follow the back of her pants. She's sorry.
All right. Let's get it all out, Arms. Lambert did more right. Like he's. Let's just sit back for a minute, Hux. Let this guy talk. What do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm done. I don't want to talk anymore.
You got a zoom on the camera?
No.
Thank God.
Oh.
Might be if I had a wireless keyboard, I could switch to the other angle and just put it real close to Arms. Anyway.
Welcome everybody to the Aaron Arms Show.
Yeah, it's just all about this guy right here.
I'm sorry.
Just playing. All right, here we go. All right, let's, you know what? Let's get into the team leader segment of the show.
The reason we came.
Is it?
Is it?
I don't know. I mean, I come for the camaraderie
Yeah, something like that.
of Hux and Chatty McChatterson over here.
And Lambert, whenever he comes.
All right, so let's get right into it. Let's start off. The Bills, AFC East. Obviously, I mean, I don't want to touch on things that don't need to waste our time. Obviously, Josh Allen is going to lead the team in everything passing, correct?
Probably
Yeah.
rushing, but okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I almost put him down, but
I thought about it.
Nathan Peterman's not there, so he can't. Nobody can even beat him in interceptions. I mean, he's going to lead him in every single category. Peterman's not there to take the heat off of him by leading the team in interceptions with 30 snaps per season. That would be what, like 28 picks, I think, if he played.
oh yeah.
Peterman played 30 snaps. He looks
I
pretty
mean, you're
good.
assuming he's going to throw all of his snaps?
Looks good for Oakland.
There's a lot.
He does.
John
I mean,
Gruden really likes him.
John Gruden really loves the guy. Real
Oh, that
big,
kills me.
Big fan of old Nate Peterman. So, okay, Josh Allen obviously leading everything. Actually, rushing yards, you know what? I do have Josh Allen leading the team in rushing yards, and that's not a joke. I'm thinking that Josh Allen goes for a minimum of 500 to 600. I think he could hit 750, honestly. And look at the running back situation. McCoy's going to get some carries. Devin Singletary's going to get some carries. They didn't bring Frank Gore in just to be a mentor. He's going to get some carries. I think all three of those guys might combine for 15 to 1,700 yards. I don't believe in any of them right now producing a possible 750 spot. I think Singletary comes out of the year with that job, but I don't think he gets 750. I think he might start the last 6 games, end up with 5 something.
Yeah, I mean they said they were gonna scale back Josh Allen a little bit with his running, but
you can't scale back somebody who's a monster. Like
no,
that.
I mean
he's going to take off and like
can't
look at his
really-
coach and.
it really worked last year. I mean, for them
Because they didn't have a running back. LaShawn McCoy is
McCoy.
trash.
Well, he's trash this
I
year
mean,
too.
he's not gonna get any better.
Exactly.
But
Tastes like a
I mean, I went
pumpkin pie.
I went with Singletary leading the team in yards. I think he takes over halfway through the year. And
What I also went with Singletary, but what did you have his yardage total at? Just off the top of your head.
I didn't write anything down specifically, but I'd go.
Where do you think it's at? I guess is where I'm going.
5 to 6.
I wouldn't go over 800 max, but I'm probably 700.
And I like
I'm
it.
going plus or minus 6. I do think, obviously, Josh Allen does still have an effect with his legs, but more of an effect like what Aaron Rodgers gives you, 400 yards
Yeah,
throughout a season. I don't think he's going
400 to 500 for Allen, I could definitely see.
I don't think he's going to. They're not going to work it into the offense. Like they're not going to have to, because I do think Singletary takes over the job, and I think it's sooner rather than later. I think he kind of weasels his way in to leech some carries, even if not the starter. Ends up with 10, 12 here and there,
Yeah.
and then by the end of the season, it's his job. He's getting 20 a game.
Right. I just think it's going to take a while for them to identify who their back is. Are they keeping Yeldon, or is he going to be a cut? So
I'm
there's
not
another
sure.
guy.
I don't.
If you're going to cut someone, Buffalo, cut LaShawn McCoy and Frank Gore.
They just brought Gore in.
I don't care.
I do. It's Frank Gore. He looked good for Miami last
The
year.
Saints just brought in Adrian Peterson. They got rid of him, a couple years ago. Like, it's not unheard of. And listen, I've got all the respect in the world for both those guys, what they've done in their career, but it's over. Give it to Devin Singletary.
If Yeldon has any effect, it's just going to be the pass game, anyways. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
seemingly.
they're actually playing right now in the third quarter. Yeldon doesn't have a single carry. You got Gore with 8 carries, McCoy with 6 carries, and Singletary with 1. But
Hey, they're keeping the starter fresh.
It was for a touchdown.
Does that mean Gore's the guy? Just saying, just wondering. Okay, anyways, it was a hot take. Josh Allen rushing yards. I'm sticking with it. I think there's too many running backs
It'll be
in
close.
Buffalo, and it's you might have 4 guys with 500 yards. Who knows? It's gonna be crazy until somebody establishes themselves, so to speak. Rushing TDs, I do have Singletary because I do think he's going to start most of the second half of the season, if not more. And I just think he's going to be the guy with the touchdowns. So you guys
But
are on board. with me there?
give me do you think he's going to even approach 10?
No, I think 6.
That's the
6.
exact number I have.
Yeah, 6
to
touchdowns.
8 max.
It's
Yeah.
not going to take much to lead the Bills in touchdowns on the rushing end. I mean, it could be
I was
decent.
going to say, Josh Allen might lead him in rushing touchdowns. but-
Possible.
He'll probably have 5. Probably have 5 to Singletary 6. Receptions. I think this is one of the teams where it gets interesting. Like, we've got teams where it's obvious. You get to Houston, it's not a spoiler. Hopkins going to lead the team in
Right.
almost every aspect.
Hold on a second. Let me check my net. Okay.
Yeah. I wish I had a set of drums like boom. Arms bringing the funny. But no, I mean we know Hopkins is going to be the guy, but who's the guy in Buffalo? And we're talking receptions here. Simply receptions. Who catches the most balls in Buffalo?
I mean, I have Cole Beasley down, but I mean, it could be any of like 4 guys, but I'm going with Cole Beasley.
I'm going with Zay. I know it's chalk for Zay, but 60 for 850, and I have him down for 9 touchdowns. I don't think he has a boomer year, but he has a solid year, and enough to not be incredibly disappointed with what you got. You shouldn't be drafting him in the first or second round to begin with. So, I mean, I could, don't get me wrong, I could see, a Robert Foster emerging. I could see David Sills doing something at some point in the year. There are players on this team that I could see, being the focal point of the passing game, but to me, it's not John Brown. And I just can't see Cole Beasley really having a major impact. He's going to have a lot of underneath routes tackled almost immediately.
I mean, I think he probably leads the team with like 55 catches.
Say if he beats Zay, it's going to be like 65 catches for 700 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems to be the same thing as the rushing attack for Buffalo. Like, there's so many mouths to feed, and not one of them is really that guy. So you could just see them all 30 to 50 catches apiece,
Quite possibly.
Now, that being said, I believe that Zay Jones has his best year as a pro, and I think he will return wide receiver 3 value.
Agreed.
That's
the
not.
numbers I gave
I'm
him.
not as big on him as I am another breakout, but I do think Zay Jones does enough to be considered the future number 1 in Buffalo. Touchdowns. Who you got leading him in receiving touchdowns, Hux?
I actually have John Brown leading touchdowns.
It's Zay for me.
Zay.
Zay
I
at
got
9. I
too.
mean, I think that's you're going to have a lot of guys with 4, 5, 6, 7, but to me, it's Zay at 9.
And I think yards. if we're going to go with Zay on both those, you got to go Zay on yards as well. So,
Yeah, I went John Brown on yards. So
if
What
there was a competitor to Zay, it is John Brown as far as yards go, in my opinion. I mean, he's the deep man.
What do you think he's going to put up though? Any idea off the top of your head? I'm not asking you.
I think 9 was a little much on touchdowns with Zay, but I was looking at 7 to 8 touchdowns for John Brown.
Okay.
I think 800 some yards. I don't think they're gonna have 1,000 yards.
So
receiving.
literally just switching my
yeah,
stuff.
pretty
there.
much.
Okay.
I mean,
I just feel like Zay's the far superior guy. John Brown's never impressed me at any point.
he's just a good deep ball, and Josh Allen throws the deep ball with the best of them. So
Does he?
he does.
Does he? He throws a ball really far.
Okay, he can throw it far. I don't know
Throw
how
it
accurate.
really far.
Might not be so accurate. But.
Okay. You know, the biggest knock on him is his accuracy, but he does throw, on average, more deep balls per attempt than basically anybody.
Anybody, yeah.
So, moving on to defense.
Yeah, sacks. Who leads the Buffalo Bills this season in sacks?
Me, Trent Murphy.
Trent Murphy.
I'm gonna go.
The Bills fan. We got a Bills fan.
I'm gonna
here,
go
by the
Ed
way.
Oliver.
I'm not asking you.
Sorry, had to check on something. I also have Ed Oliver.
Yeah, I think he's
I
gonna
just
be
don't-
fantastic.
Yeah, I don't see anyone there outside of Ed
I
Oliver.
mean, Jerry Hughes will probably compete, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's never lived up to the hype he had, if he had any.
I think you got a lot of guys. I only have Trent Murphy at like 6,
Yeah.
definitely under 8. But I think you have a lot of guys with 4 or 5.
Oh yeah,
And that's where I kind of feel like Ed Oliver's going to be in that range. I feel like
I would put him at 8.
Jerry Hughes is going to be in that range.
So
Yeah. Tackles. To me, it's clear. It's Edmonds.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
not
Edmonds.
close. 120 plus total.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, easy. Okay, so that's the Bills, in our opinion. Probably one of the only debatable ones, but we do have another debatable one. I know we don't have the same answers here, not all the way through. Miami Dolphins, my team. Sad to be me. I do believe in passing in all categories. Josh Rosen does lead them. I think, even though you didn't
looked
see
all right.
yesterday, he looked real good. I mean, I don't know if you saw the throw he made on the run, escaping the defense, getting almost to the line of scrimmage, throwing on the run. It was a pretty pass. Like, Josh Rosen can play.
Oh yeah, the guy has all the ability in the world.
Has all the ability in the world.
Mechanically, he was the best quarterback in last year's draft. class.
Absolutely.
Mechanically.
Best natural passer is what they build him as. I believe that to be true. The thing with Josh Rosen, of course, is one, leadership intangibles. They've even said in Miami already they want him to take more command in the huddle, be more vocal, or maybe just portray a different type of charisma, being more vocal. Baker Mayfield's going to set the tone for all quarterbacks in the future. Sad but true.
That's not sad. That's not sad at all. The he's a man.
Sad but true, because can anyone even live up to that guy as far as a charismatic leader on the field goes? He's going to go down as one of the best leaders of all time. I
Oh
guarantee
yeah,
it.
definitely hard to top.
He's got that about him. But sad but true to the other guys, it's going to be hard to live up to that. Josh Rosen definitely isn't going to be like this all of a sudden vocal. I hope he does. Like, people grow up, they mature as they get close to 30 plus.
Dude, he's not even close to 30. Though.
No, he's not. But if he's the long-term guy, maybe he matures, becomes kind of a leader. But the comparisons to Aaron Rodgers seem to be somewhat accurate. I mean, not the greatest locker room guy, but man, can he throw the ball. So I believe he's the guy that leads them in every
I
category.
feel like his comparison should be more Eli Manning than Aaron Rodgers, a non-vocal leader.
Real quickly, did you see the thing on Twitter, the media surrounding Daniel Jones, and the headline was like, media surrounds giant star quarterback while another guy puts on his shoes, and it was Eli Manning. Like, no one even near him. He's just putting on his shoes. Terrible. Anyways.
They're probably going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Some craptastic fluke of luck.
Right. So, do you guys have anyone else? Is it Josh Rosen for both of you guys as well?
No, I've got Fitzmagic, actually. But
Really?
I think he starts less than 8 games. I just think it's going to be something similar to what he did down in Tampa Bay. Just a lot of yards.
He don't have the weapons for that.
No,
I'm just saying, a lot of yards.
I do think he starts the year.
Probably through 6 games, he has an astronomical number of yards, and then I think Rosen ends up making better decisions. Because that's the biggest question mark on Fitzpatrick, is because he likes to just trust his arm more than what it's worth, and he'll force it in there. Like, dude, you're not Brett Favre. Stop it. But I just think he's going to have like three or 400-yard games out of the gate, and it's going to be like, well, why'd you make the switch? Well, because we're losing. That's why we made the switch. And I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a, forward momentum whenever you put Josh Rosen in there. And I'm not a big believer in Josh Rosen, but I'm less of a believer in the pro of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I honestly think that Miami wants Fitzpatrick to start the season. To me, as far as preseason goes, I think Josh Rosen has won the job.
Yeah, he's been better.
He should win the job, but I think they're going to start Fitzpatrick, see how that line plays for him, see what they've got before inserting Rosen and not just throwing him to the Wolves because they need this guy to be their franchise quarterback. They need him to come save the day once Ryan Fitzpatrick gets yanked, and they need that hype and that hope. Like, if they plug him in from day one, game one, that hype and that hope is not going to be there quite like it would if they were to insert him after a little bit of failure by Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I think he starts game 2 or 3, never looks back. Don't think he has a great season by any means. The team's just not there. But he does well enough to maybe hold them off from drafting a guy at number 1 if they even pick number 1. You never know what's going to happen. Rushing yards, Arms.
Good Lord, I don't like any of them to lead him in rushing yards. But, I mean, gun to my head, I'm going to have to go with Kalen Ballage. But I think it's under 850. Even if he holds a starting job all year, I still think it's under 850. Excuse me. Ballage, I don't know whether it's the line or just the entire atmosphere down there. I just don't think anyone has a ton of success on the ground.
No, I mean, I got Kenyon Drake leading them in yards, but nothing special. I mean, no more than 800 yards.
You don't feel comfortable about it either?
No, I mean it's just how the situation has been playing out between the two. I mean, they're not sure. It's just, I think Drake ultimately leads them at the end of the year, but it's.
Yeah, that's my pick. I think it's Drake. I know the line didn't play great yesterday, but Kalen Ballage didn't create much yesterday either. I don't believe in the talent. Kalen Ballage.
I don't believe in either of their talent.
I believe in Drake's talent. It's a matter of, can he withstand, the load? Can he carry the load? Which, honestly, you probably shouldn't try to give him the whole load. You 50-50 timeshare. You want to give Ballage 10 carries a game, Drake 10 to 15. Perfect setup. But I think Drake's the guy that leads him in rushing yards. Even if he plays second fiddle to Ballage, I still think Drake makes more of the opportunities than what Ballage does. I see Ballage averaging 3.3 to 3.5 carries, or 3.3 to 3.5 rushing yards an attempt. Drake's that guy that puts up 4.5. So,
yeah, and the guy's averaging 3.3 to 3.5 yards per carry. You shouldn't even be giving him the ball.
No, unless his name's Jerome Bettis
or Melvin Gordon.
Yeah,
for first couple years in the league. I mean,
they stuck with him.
Just saying.
We'll get there. We'll get to the Chargers. Or not receiving yards, rushing touchdowns. I gave that to Ballage.
I gave it to Drake.
You gave it to Drake still?
I'm still going Ballage. I think he's the starter for the biggest part of the year.
Okay. Receiving yards. This is somewhere it gets dicey to me. I've got Kenny Stills. I don't think anyone on that team is ready to step up. I know that Preston Williams has looked good. I get that, but he's still an undrafted, free agent rookie. I hope he grows into the role. I hope he is the future of one of the 2 starting spots for Miami. But right now, it's still Kenny Stills.
Still
Stills.
That's who I have as Kenny Stills.
Still Stills. And I got receiving touchdowns and yards. So receptions, yards, touchdowns, Stills, clean sweep for me.
I will disagree with you. I'm actually going to go with Albert Wilson on yards. I saw enough. I liked what I saw out of him last year.
Is he going to play in week 1, week 2, week 3? They're still babying him. He still has not been
I'm
cleared.
not terribly concerned about his immediate availability. I just don't think anyone on that offense is incredibly talented. And from a skill set standpoint, he's the most talented receiver on the team. And I think that'll bear out, even if he waits, if it's week 5 that he becomes a full-time starter because of injury, he's going to do more with it. I feel like his total is probably going to be under 900 yards, probably realistically under 750. It just is what it is. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of ball spread around. Part of this also kind of depends on how much time he gets with Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know, the kid's a burner, so him and Fitzpatrick on the field at the same time could be pretty nice for fantasy.
I think Rosen throws a pretty deep ball as well.
I actually got Wilson leading them in catches, so, I mean, but stills with touchdowns and yards. I disagree with him having the best skill set, though. I think Devontae Parker's the most talented on the team. He just can't put it together. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
he's got separation issues. I mean, I just don't know if he's ever going to be able to do it. Honestly, from what I've seen, Preston Williams has a heck of a lot of talent. I think they're just going to have to develop it.
I would love to see Preston Williams move into a
Me
starting
too.
role really
Oh, me
early.
too.
And if he was higher up on the depth chart right now, I would go Preston Williams.
Now, granted, we're saying this off one game. He's put up 2 clunkers since he had that one good game. But in that one good game, you saw
But there was one that he wasn't even targeted.
you saw
right?
hope. I think maybe once.
I mean, so
yeah.
you can't.
Just saying, we got to be
I try
realistic.
not to put too much into the box score of the preseason.
Right. Sacks. Who we got? Miami Dolphins. Who leads them in sacks? This was almost as hard to figure out as the Bills. I mean, there's just really.
Christian Wilkins.
I got Charles Harris. I think Charles Harris puts it together. 3rd year defensive end. I wouldn't call him a breakout candidate, but I think he could push for 10. I think he could finish the year with 8 sacks.
I'm going with Christian Wilkins somewhere between 6 and 10. I think 6 is his floor. Like I love the way the kid plays, and he's I don't know, man. He's just a guy that you want to like, as far as what I've seen of him.
I do like him,
but man, I just think he's going to have a pretty good rookie year, and it's going to progress. He's going to be a really good pick for your team long term.
I almost went Wilkins, and I'm not even sure on this pick, but I put Tank Carradine.
I almost went take Carradine.
Carradine. I can't say Carrad.
Tank Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Tank Carrot
I went
Top.
Tank to lead the team in sacks.
You know what? Neither one of us really have an argument to be made with the other. That's how sad it is.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of teams out there. You're like, who's going to lead him in sacks? This guy was 6.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you look at.
Is Cameron Wake going to play one game before he goes to Tennessee? Then Cameron Wake will lead them in sacks. That's who will get it done for him. Tackles. This one's not easy either. I know what you guys are going to say, I think, but I'll let you speak first. Who leads the team in tackles?
I'm going to go with Raekwon,
I knew that,
That's who I got.
and I knew that.
but it's like 90 total.
Right.
Like, it's nothing. It's not linebacker 1 numbers.
Well, he is banged up, so I have worries there that he starts the season. I actually went with a guy playing with a chip on his shoulder that just came back to practice. I got Rashad Jones, not quite washed up or washed out yet. I think Rashad Jones is going to come back, lead that team in tackles, be one of the only solidifying forces on that team. I honestly thought he'd be traded. I'm kind of surprised he's there, but he is, and I think he has a nice bounce back year. Let's move on to the Pats. Who leads the Patriots in passing? I mean, could it be Jarrett Stidham? Is it is Brian Hoyer? Is it going to be Hoyer? Could it be Drew Bledsoe?
I think it's Drew Bledsoe.
I wish it was Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, me too. I wish Drew Bledsoe never would have.
Everyone in this room hates Tom Brady.
Hate him.
He's still the greatest quarterback of all time.
That's debatable.
No, it's
That's
not.
for another day.
It is still debatable.
No, how?
We don't have enough time for this.
we don't
you
have
know
enough
what?
time. Tom Brady,
Obviously, Brady.
all along the line. Rushing yards, I imagine we have the same answer on this one. I
Sony.
got Sony.
I got Sony at over
I got-
1,000.
I got Sony.
Now, granted, I don't love him at his ADP, so if you heard me
Man.
talk at the Midwest Expo, don't think I've turned into a fanboy of Sony Michel. I still don't like him at his current ADP.
Unless I was watching like last year's game, man, his knees look good. Sony looked like a solid player the other day whenever I was
Them
watching him.
Sweet Amish knees.
I
going
don't
on.
care what his knees are made of. He was making good cuts. He was, he looked elusive. Give me Sony Michel.
Didn't know Amish was a material that you can make knees out of. But apparently,
Whatever.
his knees are made of Amish.
Made of Amish.
Made of Amish. So rushing TDs, I got Sony on that one as well. Again, don't get me
same here.
wrong. There's just he's gonna be the guy until something breaks.
Same. I mean, I don't think anything's going to break. I think there's too much workup in the hatred of Sony Michelle right now.
Maybe you could be right. Receptions, pure receptions. Is it
Julian Edelman?
right?
I got James White.
That's not a bad choice
That's
either.
not a terrible choice, but I think Edelman goes for 100 and 1,000. 100 catches, 1,000 yards.
I think even though James White is like that guy, I mean, I still don't doubt that Damian Harris cuts into his receptions a little. Sony cuts into his receptions a little. James White still catches 60, 70 balls, but you know, I don't think he's going to put up the same receiving production as last year, but it wouldn't surprise me either. So
And for the love of God, I feel like Sony Michelle somehow got to start becoming any sort of factor in a passing game. Like, he's too talented to not do that.
right.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I agree. Then it starts getting dicey. Receiving yards. We still going Edelman?
I went Edelman.
I went Edelman.
I went Edelman. Okay. Receiving touchdowns.
I went Edelman.
It's Edelman.
I went Josh Gordon.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I went Josh Gordon. Edelman doesn't really put up a ton of touchdowns. He's had his like glimpses and moments where he was like, "Oh, dude, yeah, 8 touchdowns. Good job, Julian." Josh Gordon, if he can play the whole season, you got 10 touchdowns.
And I just cannot put my confidence in Josh Gordon playing for a whole season.
What are they going to suspend him for next time? Smoking pot? Don't even bring him back if you're going to suspend him for that. Don't even bring him back.
It's really up in the air with Gronk gone now. I mean, with touchdowns.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah, it is.
I just feel like
I almost put Ben Watson. I know he's suspended at the start of the year, but I mean, I think he's. I don't know.
I thought
I'll tell you who it's
I
not
thought
gonna
about
be.
tight ends. I thought about.
it's not going to be Matt LaCosse.
That's what I was waiting for you to say that. I looked at him and thought, could he?
No.
Could he? Would you look at that? Would you look at Matt Lacoste?
Serious question. I'm pretty sure he has 0 receiving touchdowns in his career.
Our lad still has him listed as like 5th on the tight end depth chart.
Because he's trash.
Easy, brother. It's Matt Lacoste. You don't call Matt Lacoste trash.
Excuse me, he's a trash
Oh,
can.
my bad. Whoa, my bad. Matt LeBlanc is who I was thinking of.
There we go.
Matt
the guy from
LeBlanc
Friends.
is not
The guy
trash.
from Friends could lead them in
Yeah,
receiving
Matt
touchdowns.
LeBlanc is the man. So, okay, so rushing TDs, reception TDs, receiving yards.
I wouldn't
Okay,
be opposed to
sacks.
saying James White leading him in receiving touchdowns.
That's not out of the realm of possibilities either.
Like that to me, that's more believable than N'Keal Harry, and I trust that more than Josh Gordon being able to play 16 games.
Somewhere, our back row chat group is like, Air Arms goes again, just taking it over.
I don't
Taking
really
over.
care.
Just taking it over.
I don't care. Go. Next,
Sacks.
Keontae Davis.
Sacks of the Patriots. Keontae, not Keanu Neal,
No,
not Keanu Reeves, but
is it
Keontae
or
Davis,
Keontae Davis.
I don't even know who that is.
as John Wick himself would say.
He's a situational pass rusher. Don't worry about him.
I went Michael Bennett.
Michael Bennett here
You
too.
would.
Listen, Michael
would.
Bennett put up 8 sacks last year. The Patriots are really good at bringing in guys with gray beards and getting the best out of them. You know, they're good at taking the veterans, squeezing a little extra juice out of them. Michael Bennett is going to be that guy. Tackles. Who we got for tackles? Leading the Patriots in tackles this season.
Probably Kyle Van Noy.
I went Devin McCourty.
I went Jamie Collins. I think they bring Jamie Collins back and squeeze a little more juice out of him. A little more juice.
So did they already bring him back?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
back.
Ah, no, I
yeah,
didn't
he's
know.
back.
He's
We don't speculate
I
on free agents here. Come on now.
he's been back more times than Slim Shady.
I looked on the depth chart. I didn't even see him.
It's because Kyle Van Noy has him buried.
Guess who's back?
I'm not loving his total though. I've only got him at like 85 total for Van Noy.
Vanoy. Okay, the Jets. I think some people on the stream believe that we might actually be in California because someone's like, good friend Amanda from my childhood friend, like, we played baseball together as kids, and look at you now. Like, yeah, I'm in California. Yeah, just a little ways from my house. Like, walk up the hill in Ohio. But the Jets. Let's go on to the Jets. Obviously, Sam Darnold's going to lead them in passing. No one disputes that. If you do, why? Rushing yards. Who do we got for rushing yards? I've got a clean sweep here.
Oh yeah, obvious.
Clean sweep, rushing yards, TDs.
I think it's obvious for passing too for me, but
Receptions, I got Lev Bell.
Le'Veon Bell.
I've got
I guess it's not so obvious then.
clean sweeping running and receptions.
I got Robbie
Lev.
Anderson across the board.
I got Le'Veon Bell across the board in rushing and receiving.
I don't have him across the board in receiving. I got him catching the most passes because honestly, I think we got another Bills situation in Nunwa. Anderson. I like Robbie Anderson, I really do, but he's not a 100 catch guy. He's a 60 to 70 catch guy with
And I
10
think-
TDs and 1,000
I think that
yards.
leads the team though. 70 some catches leads the team.
I think Lev out catches him by 5.
At
But
least.
it could go either way. Receiving TDs, I got Robbie. You guys got Robbie, right?
Yeah.
Receiving yards,
touch-
Robbie across the board in
No,
yards.
Le'Veon Bell.
in yards.
Receiving yards?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
At 750.
Robbie Anderson's going to catch more than 750
Yeah.
passing
No,
yards.
he's not.
I think so. I think he.
No,
could-
he's not.
He's gonna have a 1,000-yard season.
Okay, but
Confidence.
it's okay to be wrong.
I know you've been wrong twice so far.
I must be the wrong
Oh,
one.
thanks, Hux. I
Man.
appreciate
Not a problem.
that. Hux remembered where the button was at. That's fantastic.
You guys, I can't reach any of the buttons. I got short arms.
Hux is bringing the fire tonight. So, sacks. This is where defense gets really dicey. Tackles, obviously,
Mosley.
Mosley.
I mean, I have Mosley, but it could definitely be Adams.
It could be, but
I went,
Mosley-
I went
You're
Mosley.
right.
We all went Mosley. Sacks.
Quentin
Sack.
Williams.
I got Quentin.
I got Leonard.
You got Leonard? See, I thought about that, but looking back on Leonard, he's like a 6-sack guy in, year out. The talent of Quentin Williams.
I think 8 sacks leads the team. So yeah, I think
Quentin,
yeah.
I think it's in that range, 6 to 8.
I
And
can't even push the button now. His arms is agreeing.
I like Quentin Williams.
What am I going to do?
Man, what can I say? I love that Clemson defensive front from last year.
Guess so.
Yeah.
I know where you got the Raiders sack leader coming up. Let's move
Gosh
on.
darn right.
Move on to the AFC
I have them
North.
too.
AFC North.
We
Lamar.
just go to the West at this point because okay.
Help me, Lambert.
I'm gonna stab
Baltimore.
you.
Passing across the board. Trace
L.
McSorley
Jackson.
looks pretty good in preseason.
Lamar
Good,
Jackson.
but yeah,
I mean, can we agree? Trace McSorley looks
he has looked good.
pretty freaking good in preseason.
I don't disagree.
They may have a trade piece there.
I do agree with that.
They could have a trade piece there. But Lamar Jackson leads the team across the board in passing. What about rush yards? Does Lamar lead them there or no?
No, Ingram.
I got Ingram.
I got Ingram as well. Rushing touchdowns.
Ingram.
Me too. I'm glad we're on the same page there. They brought him in for a reason. They're going to throw him into the offense. They're going to wear him out. It's going to be a rushing offense.
Yep.
Mark Ingram, if he stays healthy, is probably going to have the most carries and yards of his career.
I don't know about yards, but carries, yeah.
Yards. Receptions. Receiving number of receptions. Got quiet.
I have Mark Andrews.
I have Mark Andrews too.
I also have Mark Andrews.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
I really thought that someone was going to say it. I'm like, should I say Mark Andrews out loud?
I mean, who else are you going to say? You can't say Hollywood Brown. You can't say Snead. You can't say Miles Boykin.
Here's the thing: I want to say Hollywood Brown, but I just
Can't.
don't
Bust.
trust him at this point.
He's bust.
But like the only person I have any confidence in right now in the receiving game there
Yourself.
is no. That was for sacks
Oh, okay.
for the other team.
Oh, gotcha.
For Buffalo, no. The only person I have any confidence in the receiving game is Mark Andrews, and
Okay.
I think my numbers for him. I think he also leads them in touchdowns, and I
I
think
have him as touchdowns also.
It's not pretty.
I got him in
It's
touchdowns.
650 and 8 is what I have
Yeah.
him for.
I got him leading the team in receiving touchdowns as well. Who do you got in yards then?
I got Snead, but it's
got
not
Mark
by
Andrews.
much.
I got Mark Andrews as well. I'm buying the hype that he's the best weapon in their passing game, and it's not just that. It comes down to again, is there a weapon on that team that's going to? I mean, it's Lamar Jackson. Can Lamar Jackson produce a 1,500-yard receiver? I don't know. I know he can probably produce a pretty dang good tight end though, and Mark Andrews looks like he's the next good tight end in the league. I'm
Listen,
not saying he's
to toot my own horn a little bit, as you guys know, I like to do that.
last year. We know.
But
Call it.
I talked about how Mark Andrews was the best. He was arguably the best tight end in last year's draft class. He was definitely within the argument,
Looking very possible.
and he might be like for him to lead this team in receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
Yards.
Nowhere near out of the question.
No, I agree. And Mark Andrews might be the best tight end to come out of that class.
I still
Moving
think it's
on,
going to be Goddard long term.
I do like Goddard a lot.
I do too.
Not sacks. Yeah, sacks. Sacks.
The dinosaur.
I'm like, sacks? Yeah, no, yeah, sacks, yeah, ooh, sacks.
Onwusaur. But it's
You
like
just dropped that guy in our league.
no, that was an error. I immediately sent a message. I'm like, dude, I
Oh, okay,
dropped the wrong person.
gotcha.
But it's like 6.
Hey,
I have-
got somebody that can do better than that.
Matt Judon.
Judon.
Gone.
He was right there.
You got Patrick
honestly.
the dinosaur, and you got the Judon Raptor, Matt Judon. I got Judon as well. I think Judon has a really good year. I'm thinking 10 sacks, 10 to 12. He's a good player, man. He just needed a little bit of seasoning. A little bit of seasoning.
Like a bad steak.
Right, like a bad steak, just a little bit of seasoning. But I like Matt Judon. Tackles, who we got?
I've got Kenny Young,
Kenny Young.
and he's not projected to start right now. I just think that
Onwasser.
I've got Onwusaur.
Dinosaur guy.
Anuasaur.
Onwusaur.
Undo-
However you say it.
Brachiosaurus.
I've got him moving a position, and I've got Kenny Young moving in the middle linebacker spot.
I like Kenny Young as well. I hope that what you were talking about earlier pre-show that he didn't get hurt, but there you go. Ravens leaders from the minds of the back row, fantasy experts. Not a such thing as an expert, folks. I had this argument with someone the other day. Like, it's all opinion. Unless you're a sidekick, you're not an expert. But you can be an entertaining 20-year veteran of IDP.
An entertaining
Dynasty leagues.
opinionator.
I'm the opinionator.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
One of my coworkers called him the Terminator today because he fired somebody. And he was like, I'm like, dude, that's like the third, fourth person you fired. Did they call you the Terminator at your office? He's like, no, but I should start putting I'll be back on my emails.
Just walk into work with like the glasses on and the leather jacket. Take them off. All right, let's move on to everybody's favorite team to hate, the Bengals. Does anyone lead them in passing
I
besides
thought you were
Dalton?
going to say the Steelers. Sorry.
Yeah, my bad. Bengals. Dalton. I mean,
No.
They could get fed up with his
Maybe.
what mediocrity looks like. But I made the argument actually today with a coworker of mine, Charles Pittman, and like he's the guy that just keeps doing what you ask him to do. It's like, all right, well, we need you to throw the ball a lot, so he passes for 4,000 yards. It's like, damn it, we just can't get rid of him, but we should. We know there's better options, but God. New coaching regime, it wouldn't shock me if he didn't have the get off of Barker, but it wouldn't shock me if he lost a job before the end of the year.
right. No, Ryan Finley looks good too. There's another rookie quarterback you can talk about from the preseason that looks very solid. They may have gotten themselves a steal in Finley again. It's only preseason, but we have to report on what we see, and he has looked good against lesser competition. But yeah, it's Dalton for me. Dalton for you.
Dalton easily, yeah.
You disagreed with me the second ago. So let's say that they're 3-10 again. They're in his position like that.
Okay,
Why,
I mean,
why keep him?
if they're 3-10, 3-11, I could see them seeing what they got the last couple games of the
They
year.
need to.
I agree.
They should have saw what
Yeah.
they've got the last few times they've been in the
I
playoffs.
I mean, I thought the Giants should have done it last year.
They
and
should
seen
do it
what
for game one.
Or they should, yeah. I mean,
They
should have.
won't.
They should have. But
And they
Daniel Jones looked pretty good.
looks great. Pat Shurmur already coming out and saying, like, ho, 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 who's stupid now? Like, still preseason, Pat.
I was talking to someone the other day. I said, I'll eat crow on Daniel Jones. Like, that's fine. If he's great, I hope he is. But, man, I still don't think he's the answer. If I need to eat crow, I will. But it hasn't happened
see.
yet.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We're
I
in the
mean,
preseason.
The Lions went 4-0 in the preseason. The year they went 0-16. So let's keep that in mind.
Definitely not about wins. That's what you see in the guys that they drafted. But he looks good, but it's preseason. I'm not ready to make a jump. But hey, right now they're looking smart if you want to take into account what's happened. Rushing yards, Bengals, all across the board, actually. It's mixing. No one else is going to even come
Correct.
close to the touchdowns, the rushing yards. What about receptions? I think we could get dicey here.
Tyler Boyd.
I got Boyd across the board.
Same.
I love it. Tyler Boyd here as well, receiving yards.
Boyd.
Oh, yeah.
Boyd's a sweep.
Boyd as well, receiving touchdowns.
Boyd.
Boyd.
Boyd, look at
I
you.
just think Green misses enough
guys are
time to take Yeah.
You guys are my boys. You guys are my
We're just trying to
boys.
boost the value of Boyd in the EFC for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do believe he's going to lead them in every statistical category as far as receptions go, wide receivers go, except for some of those nicky-knack things like, ooh, I'll run after the catch. Blah. All right, so sacks.
Sam Hubbard
I knew it.
with 12.
Done that.
12 plus.
I also have Sam Hubbard.
You got a number?
Still upset that 12.
Okay.
Still upset that I didn't grab him in our league of record.
I don't think he goes over 6.
He had, I think, 8 last year.
Well,
As
he digresses
Limited
this year.
playing time. Limited playing
dude,
time.
he was
So I'm just
probably.
not a Hubbard guy.
He had,
You're just not an Ohio State
oh my
guy.
God, he had
I hate
such a
Ohio
low
State,
snap
so,
count.
yeah.
It was ridiculous.
He did. He did.
I want to
was
say he played less than 30% of snaps.
Kenyon Drake of defense for the Bengals. What he did on limited snaps was beautiful. Okay, so tackles. Bengals tackles. This is another tough one. Maybe.
Preston Brown with 120 plus
It's
total.
disgusting.
Jesse Bates.
Jesse Bates as well. High five, Hux.
It's okay to be wrong.
No. What?
No. Don't. Hey. don't-
Okay, I won't
don't-
push the
don't you
button.
do it.
I won't push the I must
Yeah,
be
it
the R.
hasn't happened yet.
Got just twice in the beginning of the
No,
show.
no, no.
that's
I
all.
was talking about with Preston Brown.
Okay. All right. So moving on. That was the team leaders for the Cincinnati Bengals. Browns. Cleveland Browns.
Baker, obviously.
Baker. Clean sweep on passing. Chubb, I got a clean sweep on
yeah.
rushing.
Same.
Okay. So Chubb leads them in touchdowns, yards, everything important for
Do you have a
me.
number on Chubb, though?
I think Chubb easily eclipses 1,200. I think he also eclipses 12 total touchdowns.
I'm going 1,210.
I would go 1150 and 12. Yeah.
Receptions.
Man,
Receptions.
I have Jarvis leading in catches.
I do too.
I have OBJ. That's going to be a weapon that I think Sam
They're
Baker
going to be
is-
close. I think
So
they're
they will, yeah.
within 10 of each
Especially
other.
playing together.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be like, OBJ will catch one, then he'll point across the field like, it's your turn, Jarvis. And Jarvis will be like, yay. And then Jarvis will catch one and be like, it's your turn, old dirty Beckham Jr. And they'll just keep switching back and forth. But OBJ to me is the guy that ends up with the most.
I have them basically, they're damn near a tie in every category.
Yeah.
Okay. Receiving touchdowns.
OBJ by like 1.
OBJ.
Yeah, I got Beckham.
Yards.
Beckham.
Beckham.
Beckham. But it's super close.
But
I don't-
between
I don't-
him and Jarvis?
Yeah.
Yards?
I say
don't-
Beckham has
But I don't think he has the,
300 yards more than him.
Yeah, Jarvis
At
is the
least.
underneath guy. Beckham's the.
I don't
yeah.
think he has the 1,300 yards everyone's expecting out of
I
him.
don't think you have the 1,300 yards everyone's
I
expecting.
won't ever in the NFL. Like, I couldn't do it in like a backyard football league. So
Sacks.
Garrett.
it's Garrett, and it's 16 plus.
Also Garrett. Ooh, 16 plus. That's big.
Yeah, he's gonna have a nice year.
That's big. Okay, tackles. Browns tackle leader.
Kirksey,
Same.
every 120.
Kirksey for me as well.
Schobert.
I thought about it.
Close.
I mean, it's
Oh,
close.
it's coin flip for
close,
either
yeah.
one of them.
Close every year. So Browns team leaders. There you go. Not that exciting because they have a really good team. Steelers. Ben across the board, obviously passing,
Yep.
rushing, and rushing touchdowns. Connor clean
Oh,
sweep.
yeah.
Yep.
Easily.
Receptions.
I don't think he does what he did last year, though.
I think he does.
I don't think he's.
I
Similar.
think he does.
He was like a top 4 back last year. I don't think he's going to finish in that range.
I think he does well.
I think he's going to finish top 10, but not top 4.
Receiving. I got Juju sweeping the board. Is there any
Easily.
disagreement there?
Juju leads the league in yardage.
Leagues.
Leagues.
Leads the league.
Leads the league in yardage.
League of leagues. All right. So there we go. You got Ben, Connor, Juju. Moving on to defense. Sacks. Who leads the team in sacks?
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
Round 10.
Man, look at us on the same page.
12.
It might be kind of easy though, but tackles.
Well, I think Hayward comes back a little bit this year, which takes a little bit from TJ. Mark Barron, but I think Devin Bush is going to be right on his heels.
I have Devin Bush.
I think Bush pushes Williams out, not Barron.
Huh.
I see it the other way.
I have Bush. I mean, they're not going to keep their first round pick off the field. Just not going to happen. And you put Bush in there, Bush going to do what Bush going to do. Bushwhack.
Okay.
Going bushwhack. let's go to the South. We're halfway through the AFC.
Just out of curiosity, since there's disagreement with me, like, do you have a number on Bush? Do you think he's going to go over 80 solo? Do you think he's going to have 120 total?
I think 80 solo is right where I got him. 30 assists. So I'm thinking 110 total. And I think Barron and Vince Williams are both like 80 to 90 total guys. One of those guys will be, the other will be like 70. But
I think the other will be like 50. Because, I mean, obviously Bush has got to push one of them out.
Yeah. I'd put Barron around the 50 mark before I would
good
Williams.
players, though. I mean, if they're smart, they'll use those guys on the field at the same time as much as they can
I look
with
at
TJ Watt.
athleticism on that, though. Like, Barron's a far superior athlete than Vince Williams.
Let's talk Texans. Passing,
Yeah,
Deshaun
obviously.
Watson. Even though I'm not as high on him as everyone else, Deshaun Watson, clean sweep for the leader in passing categories there for Texans. Rushing yards.
I'm going Miller,
Same.
Yeah.
but as a little caveat, Duke leads them in every non-wide receiver, like, receiving category. Like,
Yeah,
Duke,
Miller leads in rushing yards, but everything else, Duke Johnson.
I got touchdowns for Miller, too. Rushing touchdowns.
no, I'll give him the touchdown.
yeah.
I'm saying,
I guess
like,
I do,
all,
too.
all back receiving's Duke.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah. Receptions. This is who I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
DeAndre Hopkins, clean sweep. Nobody's going to put up more touchdowns, more receptions, more yards. It's Hopkins.
Yeah.
Cahill Waring? No.
Hell. Sacks.
I think Fuller could push for touchdowns if he stays healthy
stays
the
on
whole
the
year,
field,
but it's
yeah.
definitely Hopkins.
Yeah. Sacks.
I think you're crazy with Fuller. Sorry. I mean, versus Nick. Come on.
If he stays on the field the
JJ
whole time, he's a touchdown machine.
JJ.
I'm with you, Hux.
18 or more.
Ooh.
Yeah, JJ for sure.
Yeah, it's J.J. Watt. Tackles.
13.
Cunningham at a little over
Cunningham.
100.
Like it. Cunningham for me as well.
A little over 100 total. Obviously not solo.
So, Colts. Does Andrew Luck, is he healthy? Is
Yes.
Is it
He's
going to
gonna be-
happen?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Even if it's week 4, like, the guy's not going to not lead that team.
No, I agree. But McGinnis in our league of record, after moving to Deshaun Watson, now he's got Luck and Darnold. He was deep at quarterback. I know we don't talk about our league of record real often, but McGinnis, you might be starting Sam Darnold for a few games to start the year on that team that looked poised to compete. Anyways, rush yards. Mac.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack all the way around. Rushing TDs.
Mac.
It's Mac.
Mac as well. Receptions.
T.Y.
TY as well. Receiving yards.
Same.
T.Y.
Same. Receiving touchdowns.
Same.
Ebron.
I was going to go Funches, but
Funches.
T.Y.
Open a bag of Funches. I'm going Ebron. Year 2 in that system. I love what the kind of target he was in
I mean,
red
he had,
zone.
what, 12, 13 last year?
Believe so. And I just think he could match it
He
or
hits
better.
double digits again.
Yep. Sacks.
Houston.
Justin Houston.
Justin Houston.
Tackles.
Leonard.
Darius.
Obviously. Leonard will compete for sacks, too, by the way.
He will. Jags moving right
I would
along.
say there's only going to be maybe at worst 2-sack gap between Leonard and Houston.
I wouldn't go that far. Wouldn't go that
I
far.
think it's what it was last year. So
I think Houston has a great year. They're playing from the DE spot. Jags, Foles across the board. Anybody disagrees? Ain't Gardner Minshew fans in here at all? I love cashews, not so much Minshew's. Rushing yards, even though I despise the guy, Fournette leads him in rushing yards.
Yeah.
obviously.
Rushing touchdowns, I got Fournette as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Receiving, receptions.
I mean, it's day.
And you see the confidence you say it with, it's real. D.D. Westbrook is going to ball out this year.
I will not call him DD.
D.D.'s going to ball out. I won't call him Day-Day.
I have D.D. across all the categories.
Still day.
Yeah, I have D.D. across all categories, receptions, yards, touchdowns. Do you have anybody different? Receptions, yards, touchdowns?
He is the best receiver on that team. I will.
D.D. is?
Day is.
D.D. is?
And what I will say is, man, if DJ Chark can put it all together, he could lead him in yards.
DJ Chark apparently looked pretty good in camp, so, I mean, you never know.
I just don't think he leads them in receptions or touchdowns. But
Not yet.
Day right now looks like he's
Dede?
probably going to be the best receiver. I think.
Talk about D.D. Westbrook.
Day Westbrook.
DD.
We need to talk to D.D. and see how he wants that pronounced.
I do. I want to talk to him.
So, me too. Sacks.
Yannick.
You silly bastards.
He had 9.5 last year, down from 12.
Calais Campbell's still fine.
And they were what, a sack or two apart last year?
Well, I guess you're not silly then.
Yannick is playing for a contract right now.
Calais Campbell's still.
I can't pronounce Yannick's the other
Ngaku.
name.
Ngaku. You got to put emphasis,
Yannick.
though. You got to go Ngaku. All right, tackles.
Miles Jack.
Miles Jack. Okay, that was easy. Moving on to the Titans. Who leads them in passing? My face is getting...
I wish
I'm
it
like
wasn't
this.
Marcus Mariota.
No kidding.
It won't be.
Tannehill needs to take over.
It's going to be
I have
Tannehill.
Mariota, but
I got Tannehill. They're going to pull the leash real quick on Mariota this year.
I disagree. They
Really?
should, but
They will.
I disagree.
They will. And I don't even like Tannehill. I didn't care for him much even when he was in Miami, especially after the whole practice squad comment. Like, I don't remember what he said to the poor guy, but it was something real douchey. Like, you remember the practice
Something
squad
real
guy
douchey, but you
intercepted
love
him?
Josh Rosen. All right.
Josh Rosen don't say douchey stuff. He just has Eli Manning face. There's a difference. Okay, so Tannehill is who I got leading him. You guys got Mariota. Rushing yards.
Henry, sadly.
Henry. Rushing touchdowns, I got Henry.
I got Henry at 1,010, but I think it's going to look just
they
like
took a
last
big
year.
hit today, by the way. Did you see Luan got suspended first 4 games?
Luan.
Taylor Lewan,
Their left
tackle.
tackle.
Oh.
It's a big
See,
hit.
they have so many names like Taiwan, Taylor, Luan, blah, blah.
Taylor Lewan.
They have other guys like that as well. It's
a big hit.
Didn't see that. That is a huge hit.
I think, man, I still don't want him, though. I know the numbers I'm giving are great, but I still think the bulk of what he does is over 3 or 4 different games. He's going to have a lot of trash games that you're going to be entirely aggravated to have him on your team.
As Neil would say, you think he's a trash bag.
Yes.
Okay. Receptions. Tennessee Titans.
Corey Davis.
Ooh,
Laney Walker.
I got Adam Humphries. Now, see, if I go with Tannehill as the passing leader, I have to go with Humphries as the reception leader because Tannehill to Landry, that was a connection. Tannehill's deep ball sucks. Tannehill's really good short and intermediate. Adam Humphries is going to be his guy when he does take over week 4. I'll call it week 4. Tannehill takes over. Humphries is his man. Reception yards.
By the way, I really wanted to go A.J. Brown on this.
Well, I would love to, but he's been about as quiet as your wife on a Saturday night this preseason.
I understand what you're trying to do there.
Yeah, I got Corey Davis and yards also, but I would love to see A.J. Brown take over.
I wanted A.J. Brown for all the categories, but it's like, I just can't see it.
Yeah.
I think it's
Maybe
Delaney
next
Walker for that as well. I also think he leads them in receiving touchdowns.
I do have Delaney Walker at touchdowns.
I got Humphries. Humphries on yards. Touchdowns, I do have Corey Davis. Who did you have in touchdowns? Delaney?
Walker.
So you both have Walker on touchdowns. I have Corey Davis.
I don't know if anyone on the team breaks 900 yards receiving. I sincerely
really pushing
think
it.
Delaney
It is pushing it. I
between
agree.
7 and 8
I-
and 8 touchdowns ish.
Again, if Tannehill becomes the guy early on, I think Humphries can pass 1,000 because I think Tannehill's going to pepper him. If Mariota stays in all year long, I think Davis can barely eclipse the 1,000-yard mark. That being said, sacks. Who leads Tennessee in sacks?
Harold Landry.
37-year-old Cameron Wake.
I have Jarrell Casey.
I
Pretty
think
solid
Wake
defensive
gives
tackle.
one more 10-sack season, and he's done.
They might play him. I mean, you might as well. You paid him. Go ahead and wear the dude out. Tackles.
You draft Harold Landry in the first round for a reason.
And he didn't do anything. I have no faith yet.
I think he gets 8 sacks this year.
Tackles.
Jayon Brown.
Jayon Brown.
I have Rashawn Evans.
Ooh,
You would.
breakout from Rashawn. I can't hate on that. Moving on.
I will say I only have Jayon at like 80 total. It's nothing impressive.
I think he's pretty good. I think he can notch 100 total. Moving on. AFC West, Broncos. This should be fun. Flacco across the board for me.
Yeah, Flacco.
Same. Rushing yards.
Lindsey.
Philip Lindsay.
I got Royce Freeman. I think Royce Freeman asserts himself as the grinder. Freeman becomes more Lindsey, I should say, becomes a little more Tariq Cohen of old. Rushing touchdowns, I got Royce as well.
I really thought about Royce Freeman.
It's hard not
on
to.
the yardage.
I thought about both of them. I mean, it really is a toss-up. We don't know what's going to happen. Lindsey is the more proven guy, but Freeman is a guy that we know can get it done if they want to call on him.
I do have Freeman at touchdowns, so
Same.
Same.
Receptions,
Sutton.
Sanders.
he looked really good. Really happy for that guy. Like,
Not much. I think he won't lead by much over Sutton, but
he looked
I
great.
have Sanders.
I'm genuinely happy that 8 months after Achilles tear, he's back and he looks great. Receiving TDs, I do have Sutton.
Same.
Yeah, I have Sutton.
Okay. Receiving yards, I have Sutton.
I have Sutton also.
I have Sutton as well.
Okay. Sutton's really underrated in drafts right now. Like, he's slipping really far. Sanders is going to help him fall even farther. I think he's a great guy to grab as a wide receiver 4 with 3 upside at minimum.
I'm also not like it wouldn't surprise me if Fant led the team in touchdowns though.
I just don't know if they're going to throw him in full force right from the get-go.
I know that's my only concern. That's the only reason I went with Sutton. I think it'll be close. Like I feel like the number's going to be 8 and 10, one or the other. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I don't know who's going to get which.
Makes sense. Okay.
Which, by the way, that's 18 touchdowns for Joe Flacco, not counting the rest of the team. Just throwing that out there.
Sacks.
Sacks.
There's
Chubb.
one choice.
It's Chubb.
Chubb.
Von Miller? No.
Oh, they're
Von
going to be
Miller?
within a 1 or 2 of each other, but I go Chubb.
I think Chubb led him last year. What are you like balking on that?
I think Miller had
I
1 or
think
2 more.
Yeah.
I think they swap.
I'm at the risk of being wrong myself.
I must be the wrong one.
Now I got to check. Will someone
I'm
fact
gonna
check
look
me?
it up.
Okay.
I got Miller.
Tackles.
Josie Jewell.
Josie Jewell.
Justin Simmons.
I just traded Josie Jewell. It makes me a little bit sad, but I had to do what I had to do. Sacks, Arms will get back with us on that. Chiefs, we know it's Mahomes. We know Mahomes is leading them in everything. And you know what? The more I think about it, you have Tyreek back. You have Darwin Thompson emerging. Damian Williams is a good pass catching back as well.
It was 12 for Chubb, 14 for Miller.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, anyways, I think that Mahomes can. I'm starting to believe that Mahomes can match last year's production. You got Mecole Hardman now. You still have Kelsey, still Tyreek. You got minimum two running backs that can also catch the ball. Starting to like Mahomes as the clear-cut number 1 guy again. I actually drafted him in the Sleeper Wire Pro-Am at the end of round 2, last pick in round 2.
That's a great spot from Holmes.
Right. Well, the scoring is set up a little differently. I probably should have waited, but I had pick 1-1. So I got Barkley, Mahomes. It felt really good to get that number 1 quarterback, number 1 running back, and then on the turn I grabbed David Montgomery because I believe in David Montgomery. But I digress. Rushing yards. Who leads the Chiefs in rushing yards?
I went out on a limb and said Darwin Thompson.
You didn't go out too far on a limb because I'm with you. I said the same.
I totally went Damian Williams. Darwin Thompson looks sweet. I just don't know if he's going to be like 200 carry sweet. I think Damian will get 200 carries. Darwin, maybe 100, 150. I think Damian Williams leads
I
him.
will say I only have Darwin at like 600 to 700 yards. It's
Yeah,
nothing crazy. I just feel like he works his way into the share and then takes it over at the end of the season.
Rushing touchdowns.
I'm going to go with Williams on that.
I went Thompson.
I went Williams as well. Receptions.
Kelsey.
Kelsey. Receiving TDs.
Kelsey.
Kelsey. Receiving yards.
Kelsey.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. So there we go. A little disparity. Sacks.
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark. Tackles.
Hitchens.
Hitchens. Too easy.
All right.
All right. Chargers. Obvious who's leading that team in passing all the way across the board. His name is Cardell Jones.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers. Cardell's still on the team. You got to hand him something.
Is he up to 10 kids yet?
He's doing better than JT
Phil,
Barrett and
I
Braxton
think he's
Miller.
at 9.
9.
But
Yeah.
you know, I do think just to kind of digress on the side here, I do think Cardell Jones is a fine replacement in the same mold as Phillip Rivers. Like a lot of
That's an enlarged mold of Phillip Rivers.
yeah, no, but
Swollen.
a big arm, doesn't have a ton of like horrible accuracy issues. I think it'd be
Cardell don't have accuracy issues?
Not really.
Huh.
What games has he played in the NFL for you to question that?
I just never thought. Typically, to me, a guy that doesn't have accuracy issues is a starter in the league.
That's not necessarily true. Like, we're even close.
Okay.
Doug Flutie didn't start till he was like freaking 30.
That's because he was too busy playing in the CFL and being on Wheaties boxes. Okay. Anyways, rushing yards.
I think Melvin Gordon resolves his issues and he leads in rushing yards.
Thanks for bringing that cooler full of ice in. Sounds great.
I don't care. It's got
Yeah, I
beer
went
in
with
it.
Melvin Gordon also. I think he may miss the first couple games, but he'll lead the league or lead the team in yards.
Justin Jackson. I'm a believer, man. Justin Jackson. I don't think Melvin Gordon's coming back soon enough to lead the team in rush yards, but rush TDs, I got Jackson as well. I assume you two got Gordon.
Yeah.
All right.
Gordon.
Receptions.
Keenan Allen.
Mike Williams.
In receptions?
Yes.
That's ludicrous.
Stop it.
That is
He's the best
ludicrous.
receiver on the team.
I must be the wrong one.
Thank
He's
you,
the
Hux.
best
I
receiver
appreciate
on the
that.
team.
Dude, Keenan
Come
Allen
on.
receptions. Mike Williams is not a reception guy. He's a red zone possession
His role
guy.
is evolving. They know he's the best receiver on the team, and
I don't
he
even
will prove
think
it this
I don't
year.
even think he's that great. He's a tall guy that's going to catch the ball in the end zone.
Okay.
Elusiveness.
Okay.
Oh, receiving touchdowns. I do have Mike Williams. So
Same.
I will spread
I have
that
Hunter
ne-
Henry.
Do you think he makes it through week 1?
without. Do you think he makes it to week 3 without putting up one egg?
I mean, I'm
put up one
obviously
egg.
basing this on a full season here. So, yes,
Okay.
Reception yards.
Keenan Allen.
Allen,
Mike Williams.
disgusting.
Mike Williams
Sacks.
is going to have a boomer year, guys.
I'm eager to. We'll go back on this episode once
Okay.
once it's over.
Let's do this.
Sacks.
Bosa.
Ingram. I think he has a good bounce back.
That's shocking out of the Buckeyes fan.
Yeah.
I was really excited to
okay?
say something opposite.
No, Ingram's a hell of an athlete, and I think a lot of attention goes to Bosa.
I think Ingram had one good year myself. Bosa. Tackles.
Denzel Perryman, but it wouldn't surprise me if Drew Tranquil at some point took over the job.
I mean, I would have loved to have said Derwin James, but it's not going to happen this
I
year.
would have said Derwin James too if he was healthy.
I went Adrian Phillips.
Adrian Phillips for me as well. Nice, Hux. Not to say that you're wrong and we're right. It's just those oddball names. Like when I put Adrian Phillips down on paper, I'm like, man, it just doesn't look right, does it? It's like it needs to be a linebacker of some sort, but it's not. It's Adrian Phillips. Like that's the rotation there at linebacker. Like them trying to find that Permanente guy is just not working. Like Pullard Hayes is a freaking Cardinal, and he was their guy a couple years ago because of injury, but he played well. It just Chargers and linebacker ever since Seau. Who was the guy after Seau? They had
Manti Te'o.
Manti Te'o. He didn't get it done either. All right, last team. The save the best for last,
Obviously.
as you would say, with arms in his shirt tonight. The Raiders. It is Derek Carr, Nathan Peterman.
We all know who it should be, but I'm going to go Derek Carr.
Yeah,
Give me a break.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
I'll go there too.
Across the board, and I think he breaks 4,000 this year.
Well, he should. He's going to be running for his life and throwing the ball up for grabs. So, Derek Carr rushing
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
all across the board.
Yeah.
Touchdowns, yards, same. Got the same. I got receiving clean sweep as well. AB, receptions, yards, touchdowns.
I have him in receptions and touchdowns. I actually have Terrell Williams in yards.
I have AB in yards and catches, but I have Waller in touchdowns. Darren Waller, tight end. Looking at me like you didn't know what I was talking about.
Kind of like that. I picked up Waller for a mere few football dollars in a league yesterday. I was pretty happy about it. Sacks,
Cleveland Farrell.
Cleveland Farrell.
Cleveland, Will Ferrell.
It's not like a great
bring
number,
a
by the way.
meatloaf!
I have him at 8.
The meatloaf.
If I might be wrong, but I could have swore when I was looking up stats earlier that the team had like 13 last year.
That's
Is that-
probably right.
It was bad.
That's
it was
wow.
bad. But
Which-
I hate pinning a rookie to lead a team in sacks, but my God, you have to with a couple games.
I wanted to put Arden Key up there.
I thought about it
But
as well.
like he had one last year, and that's very difficult to project him for
Yeah.
7 freaking more.
One hell of a leap.
You know,
One hell of a leap.
like, and he played. He wasn't a starter, but like, dude, even as a situational pass rusher, Jesus Christ, Sam Hubbard had like 8 or 9 last year.
I think Jesus Criminy could lead him in sacks.
He could,
It's very possible.
if Cleveland Farrell wasn't on the team.
Mr. Criminy coming on up, leading the Raiders in sacks. Look good in the black, with silver and black. Tackles.
I've got to hear Whitehead.
I do also.
Well, I like it. Tier Whitehead for me as well. No way on Vontez Burfict. No way on Brandon Marshall.
I just feel
no
like neither
chance.
one of them can stay healthy or not suspended long enough to lead the team in tackles.
I think Fines, like if you want to say Fines, I think
Oh,
Vontez Burfict
Vontez
could lead the
Burfict will
team,
dominate in fines.
but still not be the craziest butthole in the team. AB's there.
Not even close.
AB's there. Vontez Burfict, all of a sudden, normal. Normal guy.
Maybe that's what happened to AB. He's
Could
like,
be.
jeez, I got to see Vontez every damn day after he killed me that one time.
Yeah. Craziness.
You know,
I wouldn't want to play on the same team as the guy who murdered me.
No, absolutely not. Not a chance.
I mean, do you think that, in the Afterlife League, the people that Aaron Hernandez murdered, they want to play on his team? No.
Been hanging around this town on the corner. I've been hanging around this old jail cell way too long.
I'm not going to cut you off.
No,
I'm
it's
just going to let
good.
that one go.
Been hanging around.
keep it going.
I'm good.
Is that the only,
Thank you, Go.
only
Thank you for
verses
letting me.
got?
thank
I
you
liked
for letting me
it.
do that.
I liked it.
I just
guys
wanted
are-
you
I
to get
made
a
a-
little bit of a spotlight. So Arms took most of it.
Shoot, no doubt.
First off, I didn't talk
that's the
nearly
most
as
I've
much as
talked all
Shep.
night, and I sung.
We're probably going to drop in the ratings after this.
Yeah, so much for that top 20 unchartable thing.
Oh, God.
I did make a video. You guys remember that? I think I shared that in the league. It was like a little video of pictures of Aaron Hernandez to the tune of Hanging Around by the Counting Crows.
No, but that's-
It was a day after he hung himself.
World's a better
Literally.
place.
Somebody was like, dude, that's super insensitive. Like, he's a freaking murderer. It's not insensitive. Like, what would you do if John Wayne Gacy knocked on your front door, defenseless? You'd probably kill him just to make sure you're safe.
Oh, yeah.
Been hanging around. Anyways, unless you guys have anything to add, let's
You
cut
guys want
this.
to talk about baseball right now?
No,
Me neither.
God no.
I just hope the Yankees don't win it all.
I wouldn't even know what to talk about at this
Hope-
point.
hoping-
Are they good?
Second best record in baseball.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, I don't care.
Anyone up for a back row talk show immediately after this?
Absolutely.
Oh hell yeah!
I can hang around for a little bit.
All right, so that leads me into a shameless plug. If you like hearing us talk, which gee frickin' whiz, if you do,
We love you.
Maybe you need to find friends or something.
You need therapy, actually.
Maybe you need Matt LeBlanc in your life.
Not Matt Lacoste on your fantasy team, though.
Not that Lacoste, no. But we are going to transition right after this because we like having a good time on Friday night. We're going to record an episode of the Back Row Talk Show where we talk about not football.
I would also
So-
like to formally challenge Baker Mayfield to a shot-getting contest. Just going to go ahead and throw that out.
I'd like to challenge him to that too because I was pretty good at that in my heyday.
I feel like I could take him.
Pretty good at that in my heyday. But someone would end up pouring a bottle of tequila in your.
Seems like
palm.
he's had more practice than I have lately, so I don't.
True.
I'm out.
So check out
actually.
the Back Row Talk Show after this. We are not done yet, so tune in. It'll be published at the same time. Back Row Talk Show starting now. Back Row Fantasy Show's out. Peace.
Good night.
See you.
Yes.
This concludes another episode of the Back Row Fantasy Show. Thanks for listening, and be sure to give us a review.